Welcome back, guys, to the This and Much More podcast. I'm Evelyn, and my co-host is
Rollie Vogues.
And our special guest today is
Anna Mvze.
Anna Mvze.
And we're gonna start off with taking a shot.
Shot of tequila. Started off right.
Yeah, she has
let's get P in the shot too.
Shout out P, Super P in the building.
Outside.
Yes, sir. Outside.
Cheers! Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
No chaser.
Okay, but whose idea was this?
I think it was mutual.
Both of you.
We all thought about it at the same time.
Now they had a long day out in the sun.
Oh yeah.
Out in Houston, man, it's too hot out here.
It's exhausting. Like just being out in the sun. So where I'm from DC, and we're not used to seeing so much sky.
Yeah.
Like there's just so much of it. Back home it's just like a lot of buildings and things like that. It's very busy. But I do love coming down here to Texas because it just allows me to appreciate life. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I was telling Evelyn that I used to think you were from Houston. I don't know why. I don't know.
A lot of people think that.
For real?
Yeah.
But you're out here a lot?
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
is
I
that
was
why?
over the years. I used to go by a different artist name years ago. And so I was signed to like an independent label out here. And so I was always going back and forth doing videos and things like that.
Okay. I was going to ask you about that because I have you on my phone as Anna Marie.
That was that was right before Anna Mvze.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, but I know of you from Ayo Smiley.
Yes.
Okay. And then I told her, I was like, oh.
Yeah, because he would talk to me about you, and then when he said that was your name before, I'm like, oh, okay, I know. Like, I didn't know it was the same.
It's so crazy to me how many of you guys know me as A.O. Smiley. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's been so many years. It's been like, what, almost 9 some years?
I don't know. It's been a long time.
No, I think it's been like way more than that.
That's beautiful.
Because I remember that I used to work at like a state farm. And I had told him that some guy came in there and he was talking about you and like some other guy. And he was trying to like, I don't know what it was. And I don't know if he was a manager or what. Remember I told you about it?
I think so.
And I was like, oh yeah, this guy came in here talking about you and some other guy. And then and he's like, oh yeah, whatever. But that was like 2012.
Yeah, that was very early.
Yeah.
Very, very early.
Are you able to talk about like who you were signed to and stuff or not?
I'd rather not drop their name, but we could talk about,
Okay. No, I was just gonna ask like how all that works, like as far as being an artist, like being signed and all that. Like for the people who don't know, like how do they even approach you, or how do you like you have to have a lawyer to look through contracts and stuff, or what?
Oh, definitely. I think with any kind of contracts, you should always have a lawyer, look it over, make notes and stuff, because a lot of the time these companies are looking out for their best interests versus the artist, and you definitely want to have that balance. You want to make sure that you're taken care of too, that there's ways to get out of the contract, because that's always an issue too. A lot of labels try to trap you, shelf you. It's like being in a toxic relationship, right? It's like saying, I want to be with you, but I'm not gonna like treat you like my girl. I'm not gonna claim you for real, but I don't want you with nobody else. It's like one of those kind of situations that can be very unfortunate.
No, yeah. If they see the talent, but they want it for themselves, but they don't want to like show it.
Exactly. And it's very unfortunate, because a lot of the time, a lot of people don't even, and even like a lot of big labels, they don't even want to invest in artists anymore, especially artist development, because with social media, we kind of just blow up on our own.
Yeah, and you're developing yourself.
Exactly. And so labels don't want to do the work no more. They want you to do it, but they want to take that piece. And they'll give you funding if the timing and everything is right. But it's like, other than that, you got to do the work yourself.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, we had Steve-O Valdez. He's like a super producer here in Houston and stuff. And he was how you said like they shelf you and stuff like that. Like he was talking about that, and he pretty much said that like a lot of artists like look at labels like that, because look labels in a bad light because they shelf you, but that most of the times they shelf you because there's nothing to push, or there's no music, there's no fan base, so they can't. Right. They could create a fan base for you, but it's kind of mostly like on the artist's responsibility. You know what I mean?
And it puts so much pressure on an artist. For example, me being an independent artist, I've had to learn how to manage myself, how to market myself, how to do all these extra things that a label's supposed to provide for me. And it's so stressful because I want to be able to focus on the music, the fun stuff,
Yeah.
preparing, to release or, to perform and things like that. But it's so hard to just focus on that because I have to do majority of the work. And luckily enough, I do have a group of, like-minded individuals. I have a producer, Mark Henry. I have Mixed by Jams. He does my mixes and mastering. I have my girl, Portia, who does my graphics and cover art. And I have Super P, who does my visuals. So we're definitely building from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? So,
But since you're not signed right now, right?
no.
So since you're not, but you're doing most of the work, you'll get more. I mean, me honestly, whenever he brings like creatives like to the podcast, like I'm like at level 0, like I have no knowledge, right? So I'm guessing like whenever, since you were like not signed, you get all the profit to yourself, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. It definitely I'm way more in control over the creativity and when it comes to the business too. Yeah, pretty much.
So I guess
lot
in a
easier.
way it's like you're the work you put in is what you're getting in return in a way.
Yeah, it definitely helps with creating value
Yeah.
to me and my brand to be able to put all of us in a better position, where we can start doing payouts and things of that nature. So
Yeah.
it's a lot better, especially if I were to at some point get a major deal, I can definitely ask for more because I created so much on my own already. It's like you can't take that away from me. It's like
Yeah.
you're going to have to do better.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that like your next? I mean, do you feel like you need to be signed, or are you good right now?
I feel like I'm definitely at a point where I want to expand. I know I need management because I'm tired.
Okay, I was about to
and
ask you if you had a manager.
I need somebody that's going to be out there, fishing for these opportunities or creating them for me because I only know but so much, and I need somebody that knows how to maneuver in that area so that I can focus on what I need to focus on. And that's the music, the most important part, because without the music, without even my mental health being okay, nothing else is going to work out. So definitely I want to look into managing, and just expanding and building the team. If a deal comes along with it, then if it makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
See.
Then that is scary, right? I guess to pick like a manager.
Yes. It's super scary. It's like having trauma from like a relationship. It's the same thing. Like, being signed to an independent label years ago, I don't regret it because I learned so much like about the business and how to move, but it is traumatizing because it's like learning how to trust again. And this is trusting somebody with my
Everything.
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like music is everything to me.
Yeah.
So,
That's the only label you were signed to?
yeah.
Okay. That's crazy. And then I was telling her how like I feel like your music has changed like over time because the AO Smiley era, like I feel like you were doing more rap, and then now you're doing like more like singing rap, and then now you're like rapping Spanish and shit too. So like, how do you feel like your artist development has like progressed over the years and stuff?
Oh, I'm in love with it. I'm in love with my growth, I feel like just humans overall, we never stop growing. We're always experiencing new things, and I think we should embrace that. I started off as a rapper. I was rap, which was great, but it got to a point where I want to experiment. And this was around the time where I was leaving the label that I was signed to, and when I met my producer, Mark Henry, who produces for me now. And he's done like a whole bunch of stuff for like Fab, Lil Kim, Fat Joe, like a whole bunch of artists. So he has a lot of experiences, and he came into my life and he wanted to help shape me and develop me as an artist. He was like, I want you to start doing melodies and stuff. And at first I was like, I don't know, but I gave it a shot, and there's a huge difference between beat makers and producers, like he definitely takes the time to get to know you as a person, and builds off of that. And it's crazy because it's like the same way I write out my emotions on lyrics, he almost writes out emotions on beats. Like it's pretty cool. But no, shout out to Mark Henry because he definitely helped develop my sound and made me an incredible artist now, an incredible writer. I'm at a point where I'm really pushing my pen and, I'm starting to do songwriting too. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's wild. So taking it back to like childhood, like was like music always like in your life, or did you?
Yeah, since I can remember, music was always something that I loved doing. It was just naturally in me. I started off writing poems, just be in my bedroom writing poems, and then poems eventually turned into songs. Full House was one of my favorite shows growing up, and Uncle Jesse was the musician, and so like on the few of the episodes, he would be explaining what part of the song was the bridge or the hook or the verse, and so I just paid attention to that without even meaning to, and I would just go to my room and I'll be like, oh, this is the verse, this is the bridge, the hook, and I would just do it. Like even with my neighbors, I would make my neighbors like be a part of a band with me. Like I'll be like, you're doing this, you're doing that, this is what we're performing, and I'll be outside like passing out flyers to strangers. My mom would be getting mad at me because I'm talking to strangers and I'm like, we're gonna be performing at this block party.
Wait, are you an only child?
No, I have an older brother.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But you're the baby.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the middle child now because I have a dog, but
they matter. They matter.
do. They really do.
Yeah, that's wild. Man.
But I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, so you being the only girl and the baby, how did your parents feel about you like taking this leap? Like,
honestly, at first, they were concerned because when you think of hip hop and rap music, you think of men, sex, the drugs, gangsters, and all these. Yeah, like, and so they were concerned. But for me, I was always like very determined. If it was something that I wanted, I'm going to go get it and I'm going to show you that I can do this. And so, and I remember telling my mom, because I used to do like YouTube freestyles, and one of them went viral because Logic, when he lived back home in Maryland, he reposted it and it went viral, and I was blown away. And I remember writing down a list like, in the next year I'm gonna be known across the US, I'm gonna be traveling, I'm gonna be making videos and making moves, and that's exactly what happened. So when my mom saw that, she was like, this could actually work, and I just been sticking to it ever since. So
damn, that's great. Because your parents are Hispanic, right?
Yeah, they're Peruvian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're born over there or here?
They were born over there. Yeah.
Because I know that a lot of like parents have like, I guess mainly because you're a girl,
Oh, yeah.
And then you're like the baby, so I feel like, what about your dad?
My dad actually is very, very supportive. Like, really? Extremely supportive. He loves it. Of course, he used to have his concerns, when I would have to like travel or come back super late, he would be very concerned and stuff, but he will never show it to me. He'll talk his shit to my mom like, nothing better happened to her. And then when I come in the house, how did it go? Was it amazing? Like, I love my dad. Nah, he's a huge supporter. Yeah.
That's so funny because that reminds me of his dad. Your dad.
With who?
Because because I'm very close to his parents, so his dad, like, I mean, when we got together, I was like 15, right? So he pretty much like saw me grow too, and they don't have a daughter. So I remember whenever I would go out, I think it'll be like, oh, be careful, but I think his mom would tell me like, oh, he doesn't like that y'all go out, and that, if you go by yourself. It was more of a thing once we got married that he was like, she shouldn't be going out by herself. But I mean, to me, it was like, I'm going out with my friends,
Right.
And they even know my friends too, but I think he never told me, he would tell his mom, and she would tell me like, yeah. But 100%. That's funny though, like, I mean, but I'm glad that, you had a good support system. Like,
no, for sure. That definitely helps. And, of course, like, we've had our ups and downs over the years or disagreements on certain things because, again, like, they don't really know too much about hip hop or rap or just even the music scene, period. So this is their first time seeing it, So sometimes it can be, like, a lot of pressure on my shoulders, but it's cool.
What about your brother?
My brother's super supportive. He's very overprotective. Very, very overprotective. Yes. Like, he texts me every single night, you okay? Be careful. Like, every single night. Like,
I hope our son's like that if we ever have a daughter.
I know, he better be like that.
I guess it just depends how you're raised, right?
Yeah.
I mean, y'all grew up really close together?
Yeah. I grew up, I feel like I grew up around like a lot of men. So I grew up with my brother, and he was always like into sports and wrestling and video games. And our neighbors, they were guys too. They had like the sisters and stuff, but the guys would always make us play sports, like play football outside, skateboard. I was skateboarding at one point in life. I was like, I'm with the skater boy. Like, it was just the whole vibe. But nah, for sure, we're close. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Who were some of the artists that you were like looking up to, like, from home?
From home, you mean like artists from DC?
Yeah, I guess
up?
because like you know how we have our hometown heroes, like being Bun B and Slim Thug and all them. Like who was them over there?
Well, as far as the DMV, you know, our music market isn't the biggest. But what I can say, when I did first start coming out into the scene and start to do shows and rap, there were a few artists that I did look up to. I don't think you guys would like know them because they're very like, you know, DMV based. But at the time, it was this rapper named Authentic, Raw the MC. She was pretty dope too. But it was just when I first started coming out into the scene and seeing this stuff. Oh, and Logic. Logic was like a huge inspiration. He was like a mentor to me. But it was just crazy, you know, because the only other time that I've ever seen anything like this was like on TV. You know, we don't really see much of performances. We don't really see much of like hip hop artists rising from this area. And especially in like the Latino community, we don't really have a lot. Growing up, the only one that I could say was Gordo Brega. Shout out Gordo Brega from MWA. And he was like the pioneer of Spanglish trap, you know, and that was like amazing to me. But definitely Logic. He definitely taught me a lot of things, gave me a lot of pointers, you know, especially after one of my YouTube freestyles went viral. You know, he always told me like, take your time, like figure out what you want to do, write your songs, fuck everything, fuck what everybody says, like we're all on your time, you know, make sure that it's right. And I paid attention to that, and I would go to his shows and I would just see the way that he would engage with the audience. And I never really went to a lot of concerts growing up either. So when I would go to his concert, I was going like it was an experience, you know. He made you feel a part of something. And when you're young, you're learning to find yourself, like, who am I, you know? When you hit that 18-year-old age, it's like, oh, I'm an adult now. But it's like you're experiencing so many emotions, so many things, and you know, just to be able to watch somebody on stage be 100% confident in who they are and what their purpose is, it was just super inspiring. And I looked at it and it was like, I want to do that. Like, I can do that. And I did it ever since.
Damn. So you had conversations with Logic and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, definitely.
Man,
Definitely. Yeah.
It's crazy. I fuck with Logic, man.
Nice.
Because I feel like him, I found him on YouTube. That's when I first like heard of him and stuff. But man, he blew up as an artist.
Yeah.
Like, crazy.
Very smart, very very, very focused. You know, he was always about music. He didn't chill, he didn't hang out. It was very music, and that rubbed off on me so much. Like, I've always been like focused on my music, and it's gotten to a point where I've realized maybe I need to take breaks, you know, because being an artist, especially independent, you go through so many experiences, and being a female, and it's a male dominated industry, it's so much that you go through that it affected me in so many ways that I wasn't even processing it, because I was on some, I need to get it done. But then at one point, like, it just all comes out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm definitely learning now that I need to take breaks. So
that's good, because I mean, you do need to put yourself first, like mentally, physically, you know.
absolutely.
Because sometimes I feel like the whole you need to let your body rest, people don't take it serious.
They don't.
You know, I mean, I don't take it serious sometimes too, you know, like I'm like up at 3 a.m. doing whatever the hell I'm doing, and I want to go to the gym at 5, not having my body well rested, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's very important, like, to do that, you know, because he would do that too. Like, he would burn himself out.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I would be like, oh babe, you know, whatever, take a break. And he's like, nah, I gotta work. And I'm just like, I guess, I mean, you're providing. So
I feel like that also is like, it's within our culture, you know. I seen my parents like bust their ass so much, and sometimes it felt like I didn't even see them growing up so much, because they were always at work, or, you know, even coming home from work, like, they had, like, my mom, she was still going to school, so it's like she was busy doing her homework, and then she became a teacher, so she was doing lesson plans. She was always on her feet, and, you know, she was cooking for us and making sure that we were good, and it's just, she never stopped working, like, ever. I think I've only seen her like cry probably once growing up, and it's just, it says a lot, because it's like, wow, like, we really don't take breaks, and we need to.
Yeah. I need to do that shit too. That ass.
Yeah, definitely.
Nah.
No, I think he does pretty good, you know, because since I'm a stay-at-home mom, I'm with my son like all day long, you know. But my son asks for him a lot, you know. So he'll go in there and ask him, like, he'll plan his video game time or his game time, like playtime with him, right? Like, and I'll tell him, like, hey, like, he's planning this,
He's
so
putting
make
in
sure
effort. Yes.
Yeah, yesterday he's like Papi, I have an idea. And I'm like, what's your idea? And he's like, video games. And I'm like, all right. And we're playing video games, right? And then I think like 10 minutes passed, and then he's like, I have an idea outside. And I'm like, oh my God, bro. And then after playing outside, he wants to fight. Like, he wants to fight with me and stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, they have a lot of energy.
much
You know?
energy.
Yeah, kids do have a lot of energy.
God,
Because today he was like, I'm gonna go outside. I'm like, dude, it's super hot.
Yeah.
Which I take him outside literally every day, you know. But today I was just feeling super tired. I was just like, no, I'm tired. And then he's like, oh, I have to work. And I'm like, all right, I'll take him outside. And I was outside and he was just playing by himself. Sometimes I'm just like, damn, you need a sibling. Like, you're by
It's just in his blood, man. He's a summer baby. Like,
yeah, he's a summer
Oh.
baby. Yeah. So it's like he's full of energy. And it's just like I'm out there and I'm just like, I'm usually like working out or doing. He'll tell me, Mommy, exercise, Milo, play. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
But kids do have a lot of energy.
Yeah.
So what made you come to Houston? Like, you're here right now for work? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I was out shooting some videos, doing a couple features and stuff in the studio with G Love. We recently cut something, and that's pretty dope. Same with Crystal Poppin'. We got some stuff coming.
shout out
Very
KP.
excited for that. And yeah, just been shooting videos. I've been doing a couple of performances as well. I was recently a judge for Queen of the South. Shout out Big Boss Entertainment. And that was pretty dope because the whole lineup was a bunch of female rappers like competing for Queen of the South. And it was just beautiful to see, you know, very, very beautiful to see how talented and how much they demand respect when they get on the stage. And I love to see it. It definitely makes me happy. I feel like Latinas in the rap game, we're definitely on the come up, and I feel like the time is now. So
I think it's so crazy because I feel like Latinos are doing so much right now. And I feel like now we're like getting the attention, right?
oh yeah,
Like with
yeah.
everything, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of Latina small businesses.
Yeah.
You know, everything is just like, and I'm glad that a lot of people, like, we're stepping up because I would tell Roland, like, you know, with the whole like Black Lives Matter, you know, I was like, it's so crazy because they do defend, you know, like Black people defend themselves. Like, you know, they're like, they see somebody, you know, but I feel like Hispanics, like we are like, whatever. Just get over it, like, you know. But
Yeah,
now
the
I
whole
feel like
deal.
it's like it's a thing where now we're like, okay, we're like Latinos, you know, da 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 da.
Yeah,
like,
we're
it's
definitely
becoming
becoming a
thing.
lot more
Yeah.
supportive and a lot more together. No, I definitely see that. I just feel like it's a whole evolution overall, you know, just even the like Bad Bunny, like he's a great example to
Yeah.
see how much he's expanded, you know, onto huge Bad Bunny fan, but he's just expanded so much, and I feel like little by little, you know, we put the right people in the right places, and it will like help the rest of us. They're definitely
Yeah.
paving the way. So
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Damn, you know, I think Bad Bunny's like the ultimate artist,
yeah,
honestly.
it's amazing. It's pretty amazing.
Because, like, I was in a, like, how important is appearance as an artist to you? Like, your actual physical appearance, what you wear, like, what you look like.
How I feel, I don't care. But I know it's important. You know, it's a part of identity. I see it as art, you know. Even in being, like, if a person is an introvert, there's so much beauty to that. And there's so many ways that you can express that in a way where it attracts the masses. And I think, you know, we just need the right kind of people in those positions to help bring it out of us, you know, because a lot of the time we don't really know what we're good at, or we don't really know what we're missing until it's given to us. So, yeah.
Like, I feel like artists who don't care about appearance is what makes them, like, more look like an artist. Like, because you're not, like, following that cookie cutter
Right.
fashion stuff. So it's like, that's how I feel about Bad Bunny. So it's like, a lot of people might look at Bad Bunny like he's like this fashion icon and stuff. It's just, I see it more as like he just doesn't care what he's wearing. And
right.
and then so
like
people are,
when he said with the whole red carpet, right?
yeah, I don't know if
He
you
was
saw
just
that. They asked him like, "Oh, how do you feel about oh shit, that's already 25 minutes." They asked him, "How do you feel about being on the red carpet, you know, whatever?" And he's just like, "I'm just walking on a red carpet." Like it's
Exactly.
you know, it's like
Yeah.
Exactly. I think overall, it just comes down to you have to stand for something.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you stand for it and you believe it 100%, and that's all that matters.
yeah, crazy.
Well, if you want, let's go on a quick break and we'll come back.
Yes, sir.
And we are back with some more stuff, right?
Yes, sir. All right. So I want to ask you, how is the support? Is Houston the only place you come to? Like,
No, I mean, I've been to Fort Worth. I was living out in Fort Worth for a few months, not too
Okay.
long ago. I've been out there. I've been in Austin. I think that's about it. Yeah.
okay. So how would you say that the support for your music differs from home to Houston?
It's entirely different.
real?
Entirely different. I mean, but I feel like, because everybody says, like, man, it's like that everywhere. Wherever you go, you're going to have the same kind of hate or whatever, you know. But I do get a lot more love from strangers than I do from people that I know. And, you know, I could sit here and say the reason as to why I think, but honestly, I don't really know why.
I think that's across every industry, though.
Yeah.
Everything, pretty much, you know. Because, right, like, even for the podcast, like, I feel like family and stuff and friends do watch it, but it's mostly the comments come from, like, the people that we don't know.
Yeah.
Or people that we barely know. That's when
Yeah.
they're like, oh shit, like they're cool, you know, I like the shit or whatever.
Yeah, and
just-
honestly, you being a girl, it's probably a little bit harder. Which, I mean, because we were just talking about that earlier, right?
Yeah.
Because you said that your brother was like, oh, why can't guys be supportive? Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
But I think that, obviously, because I'm a girl, right? Because I started my brand in January. And I told him, I'm scared, you know, because I feel like... honestly, I really didn't even care, but in the back of my mind, I think I was like kind of worried that what if I didn't get the support? But I did get support from like girls that I didn't even talk to, or like they follow me, and I'm just like, oh shit, like it's working, you know?
Yeah.
But I do feel like it's just the vibe that you give off. Like,
No.
if you give
yeah,
off
for
that
sure.
bitchy vibe, like,
Yeah.
I don't care if you support me. I mean, like at the end of the day, I don't, but I'm grateful for it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. You're not gonna beg for support. You're not gonna be like,
Exactly.
oh, you know, please, like play my music type shit or
Yeah,
whatever, you know,
no.
it's just
yeah. But it is strangers, I think, that do support the
Yeah.
most.
It's
Yeah,
always like
they.
that.
I feel like they do. Just appreciate it a little bit more. You know, I feel like sometimes the people that are close to us, they're kind of already used to us. You know, so they don't feel like they need to go out their way to support or to show love, or it could be that, it could be the whole, you know, they want to see you doing good but never better than them,
Yeah.
you
yeah.
know. But
Or they
yeah.
probably have like this image of like, you know, of you, and they don't want to change it because now you're popping and you're
Yeah.
like.
Or I
doing
feel
a
like
lot
I feel like what happens a lot is like they'll be like they'll see you or they grow up with you and then now you do music and they're like, oh, like now she's a rapper, or
Yeah.
you know, shit like that.
And
Like
that's so sad too, because it's like we could really be the next best thing, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just, yeah, people just be looking down on up and coming artists, and it's really sad because I'm actually really good. Like,
your music is crazy. It's pretty dope.
thank you.
So how was it linking up with like Crystal Poppin'? Or
That
how'd y'all
was
meet
dope.
or what?
I met her a year ago. So I was booked for this show. Shout out Smooth Vega. He had booked me for Centro Popular last year out in Fort Worth, Texas, and we were both on the lineup. And I was gonna hit up Houston first because I love Houston. I have people out here. And he told me that she was going to be in Houston for like a couple of shows and stuff. And he told me like, y'all should link. So he linked us. And she was just super sweet, just off the bat, like very, very nice. And that was new for me, you know, especially when it comes to female rappers. I'm not, you know, back home, there's not a lot of us. But when there is, like, everybody's very standoffish.
It's a competition.
Yeah. But with her, it was all love. And it was very beautiful to see, to be a part of it, to have those kind of conversations with her. And for us to be on the same page, too. And, because we go through a lot of this, like, the same
Similar
things.
stuff.
Yeah. But nah, it was really dope. We linked up there, and then we performed at the festival. And then a couple of days ago, I went over to his studio, and we were just vibing and talking and just having a really good time. So,
And that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, because you said you wanted to get her, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to get her. I talked to her manager too. It's the junior. But yeah, hopefully we get her on here soon and shit. Like, I know they'd be busy and shit and working and shit.
Yeah.
So do you have any like projects or anything coming out or not?
I have a lot of music coming out. So I recently dropped an EP called Talk to You Later. It dropped this past March, and it's doing really, really well. But I am planning on dropping a few singles coming top of the summer. So got some singles, got some features too that I'm very excited about. But yeah.
And how does that work? Like as like a artist, like how do you get your money? Like, is it based off plays or?
Yeah, so a lot of it is definitely off of streaming services. I stream pretty well, but I'm also now getting paid as a content creator for TikTok and IG, so that's pretty cool. But luckily enough, I started songwriting a few years ago thanks to my producer Mark Henry. So I've been doing like a lot of songwriting, and that's been helping a whole lot.
Monetary wise?
Yeah. Yeah, like, so it normally for me it's been like a fee and publishing. Okay. So, and I'm trying to work my way to getting a pub deal. And that will definitely change the game.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So how do you get inspiration for like music writing and all that?
Just life. I really don't know how to write about things that I've never experienced.
Okay, I was gonna ask you that. Like, do you have to experience certain things to be able to write?
Pretty much, in order for it to like resonate, not just with me, but to like the audience as well. Like, I don't know how to fake the funk. Like, I really can't. So. Okay,
that's another good question. Cause how do you feel about when people like fake it till they make it type?
I feel like to each their own. Whatever floats their boat, that's on them. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be over here, writing real shit, writing what I experience and things like that. But, at the end of the day, I would rather create things that have longevity. And I truly believe that when you speak your truth and you live your purpose, I feel like that would last a whole lot longer than anything that isn't real. So, yeah.
Do you have anything to say? Because I was going to bring something else up.
No, I was going to say, because it's funny because she's like, to each their own, but I'm over here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because, I had talked about that on my Instagram not too long ago, and I had like mixed, what's it called? Like replies or whatever.
Yeah.
Some people were like for it and some people were against it. And then like I used to work for this screen printing shop, and she was talking about, she told me, I think fake it till you make it is like a thing, because when they started, there's now like here in Houston, they're a big shop now. But when I worked with them, like they weren't that big. They were just starting out. But at the time, she was talking about like, yo, we're the best screen printer in Houston. We're the best. We got all these machines and we have the best quality, all this stuff. And she's like, and we didn't, at the time we didn't, but now we do. So it's like, it kind of like made people believe in them. So they got the work and they were able to build their business off of that. And now they can live up to that, So,
I mean, okay, so when I was signed to a label, they did teach me the whole smoke and mirror effect, right? And I can understand it. I do think that you should always carry yourself as the best. Like, you should. If you believe it, that's what it is. And it's going to happen. Damn, I forgot what I was going to say. But, overall, like, you generally have to, like, what I like to call it is magnify the truth, right? Like, I am who I am, but let's magnify it. And the way that we can do these kinds of things is through visuals, through pictures, through different things like that. It's all about perception, and sometimes perception is reality, you know. And in the end, it's technically like you're not lying, you know, you're just magnifying the truth, and I feel like that's okay. So
No, yeah. I think it's different, right? Whenever, like you said it, like, if you think you're the best, then
yeah,
show that, right? Like,
Yeah.
show your best or whatever. But to an extent, I think. Like, don't come off
definitely.
like...
don't do the
uh,
most. Yeah,
yeah,
like,
like,
oh, I got a Ferrari. Like, you know, I think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
just, I'll let you know it's rented. Like, I don't care, because my thing is like, I want to grow with my fan base. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want to come off perfect, because I'm not. Like, I'm far from it. So I'll let you know. And I said it on like my song Way to Go from the TTYL project, but I said it in my song, like, you know, like, I'm not afraid to admit that I flight coach. Like, I'm not out here first class. Like, I'll get the cheapest flight because I'm out here making moves. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, you have to make smart look cool. You have to make being hungry and dedicated look cool, because
Yeah.
everybody wants to focus on the reward, the glitz and the glam, what's on the other side. But it's like, there is so much beauty on the way up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Showing growth is...
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
I feel like that's how we work. Like us, like
Yeah,
we
we
show
work like
everything.
that
We like
for
to
sure.
show like, man, our whole house is like a whole studio. You know what I
That's
mean? Like
beautiful.
her office is in the kitchen. We like to say this shit a lot.
That's beautiful.
Her office is in the kitchen. I have a room, whatever. We have
That's
the
not
podcast.
fair. Ah.
No, like this podcast. Like I feel like people think it's a big studio or whatever. It's just a
not.
small ass
But
room.
that's what
You
I'm
know,
saying,
like,
perception.
yeah.
It's the perception of it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, because it's like, you guys are creating quality content, and you guys
Yeah.
are being smart about it, you know. So that's very important. Y'all should be super proud of yourselves, because this
Thank
is
you.
beautiful.
Appreciate it.
This is
Appreciate it.
beautiful.
No, yeah, you know, because with... I've always seen, like, because Roland has Superior, and, like, I've helped him, like, with it, and then I was like, oh, just do your thing, you know, whatever. But then I started my brand, and I feel like I say girls because it's more of a girl brand. I feel like it's, you know, more girl stuff. So it's like, it's called AI Mas. So then I always tell the girls, and I told Roland, like, I'm like super straight up. My first drop, the tags were like the blanks tags, you know. And then my second drop, it was like vinyl. And then my
Right.
my third drop, it had like a screen print, like you know. But I would tell the girls, I'm like, oh my god, this drop is delayed. Like, I really want to get these tags on there. I think transparency
Oh, yeah.
of the growth is what people love to see, you know, because
Yeah.
it makes you look like humilde, like,
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah, definitely. It's refreshing.
Yeah.
and I think that is becoming a thing now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the transparency. I feel like
Absolutely.
before it wasn't a thing. Like, I think before it was like
Yeah.
they just saw you pop it, and they're like, oh shit, like, I want
Yeah,
that. Not
yeah.
knowing how you got there, like,
How you
know,
got there, how
yeah.
you're feeling in that moment. You could be super sad, like posting a picture on IG, but
Smiling.
Yeah, like you just
And
never
you're, like,
really know.
depressed.
Yeah, 100%.
That's funny.
Going back to fuck, what were we talking about? That I was gonna bring it up because do you ever have like songs that you want to like drop? Okay, it's about like what'd you call it? You called it something. I forgot what you called it, but it's like, do you ever have a song or it's like ready to go and stuff, but then you're like, it's not my best work, like, so you kind of like put it away and then you drop
For
something
later.
else?
Yeah.
Cause I feel like I do that with my
Everything.
brand. So okay, with everything. But I'm gonna use my brand as an example. So it's like my brand doesn't have a lot of followers and nothing. You know, it has its customers, but not a lot of followers. But I'll come up with designs, and I started my brand back in 2015, and then like I would come up with a design, and I'd be like, man, it's a fire ass design, right? And then I'd be like, man, but I only got like 100 followers at the time, and I'm like, I only have 100 followers. It's too badass of a design to drop now. So then I'll be like, it's time yet, you know? So I kind of like put it away, and then I drop a simple design, and then it doesn't do as well. So now I'm to the point where it literally took me like 7 years to realize that if I do not drop like my good designs, my grade A designs, my brand's never gonna grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you have to always drop your best, and
Yeah.
then the next time, like, do better.
I think
better.
it goes back to what you said. I think you called it like the mirror or something.
Smoke
effect?
and mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is, right? Or what is what was that? Well, what is that?
Smoke and mirror is basically like like an illusion of something, like kind of the whole fake it till you make it theory. But I see what you're saying as far as that, definitely as an artist of any kind, you have to take those risks.
Yeah.
But you also have to believe in yourself that you could do that times 10. Yeah. Don't ever sell yourself short, ever. And whatever it is that you do, drop your hottest shit. Stop planning. Like, life happens when you're too busy making plans. Like, that's a real ass thing, And believe that you could do it again and better. You have to believe in yourself.
And then I like to use, for this specific, what I'm talking about, I like to use Bad Bunny. I like to use Bad Bunny as an example. Like, he's not the person that's gonna say like, oh, I'm gonna drop the hottest album, whatever, right? But we look at it like that. Right. So he drops his first album, whatever, and everybody's like, oh shit, like this is his, because he was dropping singles, and then it's an album, and you're like, oh shit, he's about to drop like some crazy shit. He drops it, everybody's like going crazy. Then the next album, he says, oh, this is better than my last shit, And he drops it, everybody goes crazy. And then the next one, he's like, all right, this is my best shit. So you're always saying like, oh, this is my best. And then I feel like you have to have that energy, whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it's a brand. And it took me a long time to realize that, you know what I mean? So I don't know if like you've ever had moments like that where you're just like, man, this song's too big for now, like
all the time. I've definitely had those moments. So many times, if anything, the project that I recently dropped, I wasn't going to drop it. I was going to hold off. I was going to create new music and, drop that first. And then I was going to drop that, But then I had a long talk with my producer and he was like, these are really great songs and you need to let the people hear them. And so I was like, all right, maybe you're right. And honestly, it was the best decision because the project is doing so well on Spotify and Apple Music combined and even TikTok. There were songs on there that to me, I didn't consider singles. Like, but to them, that's their favorite song. And I'm just like, really? I would have never thought. But that's how you learn, by just trying. Yeah.
For your albums or for your projects, like, do you have to, how much attention to detail do you like, I guess, like put towards your album? Like, do you know, like, okay, I want this song here, I want this song, or do you just like randomly select?
Oh no, I'm super detailed. I'm a Pisces, so I'm very emotional and I'm moody as fuck. So when it comes to my music and how I, do the track listing from beginning to end, it has to flow. Like, I know nowadays a lot of people don't appreciate albums as much as we used to, but I do. And for those that actually appreciate it, I want them to experience the project from beginning to end. I want it to make sense sonically. My producer's the same way. And when I made that project, it was right before I was going to move to Texas. And so he was like, all right, you need to have some Texas elements. And we sampled like Drink in My Cup, Kirko. I think we had some Webby in there too. Like, we were just like sampling a whole bunch of things just to help with that transition with what was going on in my life at that time. Yeah. So that's super important to me.
It's so crazy that you say that because I think I'm one of the people that don't appreciate the album. I didn't even know that it had like a flow. Like, I never thought about it like that until right now that you're saying it. I'm just like, I'm trying to think of an album and I'm just like,
I think Kendrick's album is the one that like has a story, but it's like backwards, I think. Or some shit like that. Like,
nice.
Yeah, from like the start of it, I think it's Good Kid, Mad City. I think the start of it is the end of the album, and then like the last song is like the beginning, so you have to listen to it like backwards. Yeah, or some shit like that.
Huh. I guess that's cool. Because I didn't even think. I honestly thought like, oh, they're just like songs.
Randomly.
Yeah, like that's.
I always know like, oh, number 3 is like always like the hot one and shit. Like, I feel like it's always like the second or third one is like the hits right now.
Yeah, because the Bad Bunny album, I played like
it is like the second or third.
The merengue song, the one that that's number 2.
That one threw me off.
I like the party one too. That one. I like a lot of his songs. I mean, honestly, I listen to like literally anything and everything. Especially, it's more when I'm working out. When I'm working out, it's just like when I'm playing like either side.
Have you made any reggaeton music?
I have a couple that are out right now. I think I have La Situación and Todo de Mí. But I do have like a bunch stacked. And a lot of those too were ones that I've been shopping because I've been doing some songwriting for a few Latin artists. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So who are a few producers that you would like to work with?
Producers? You gonna get me in trouble.
I was like, she keeps name dropping her producer.
I'm very loyal to my sound and stuff. You know, I like to see us as like what 40 is to Drake or what Dr. Dre was.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
so
I
we're
feel
definitely
you.
trying to build that sound. But honestly, I would really love to work with 40. I think he's a phenomenal producer. Pharrell as well. Pharrell's pretty cool. Who else? I want to meet Rick Rubin. I definitely want to have him executive produce my project. I think he's pretty amazing. So,
do you have somebody that you like definitely like always think of when you look up, like somebody that you look up to that just comes to mind
what do you mean?
as a girl, like
Like an artist?
Like an artist.
Always comes to mind. Yeah, I would say Selena and Left Eye from TLC. Yeah.
I like the way she raps, man.
With Left Eye?
Yeah, Left Eye.
Me
Like,
too.
And her voice, I don't know, something that like, and it had to do with like the times, like
Oh,
the way she was
definitely.
rapping and shit. Like, I don't know, and she was dope, man. R.I.P.
Yeah, I love her.
She's hard. And I was gonna ask you too, from a graphic designer standpoint, because I work with a lot of artists, right? I don't know. Have we had another rapper on here? Artists? No, right? We just had like producers and stuff. Like
No, I'm looking up there because I'm just like,
Yeah,
that's
it's 'cause
everybody.
we had everybody on here,
It's like a
but
serial
Oh,
killer
I mean,
thing.
no, it's just Jingle. Yeah.
all my victims and shit.
I mean, we have Chingo Bling, but he's not. Like,
Oh yeah, but Chingo
Yeah.
Bling was talking about more of like his comedy and stuff. We did
Yeah.
hit on his artistry and stuff. Okay, so because whenever I get like an artist, like whenever I work with them and stuff, and they hit me up for like artwork or whatever, it's always last minute, always. So I'm like, how important is like that part of your like, if you're getting ready to drop an album, if you're getting ready to drop something, like how important is the artwork to you, honestly?
Very important, actually, especially because the distribution that I use, I would have to submit like 4 something weeks in advance so that I can get the proper playlisting push and things like that. So having, you know, because when I'm making music, you know, there needs to be that respect there where I need time to create. But graphic designers are also artists, you know, and they need their time to create, you know, like I know for me, I go through the motions when I make my songs and my producer as well. So it's like for my graphic artist, like I like to give her enough time to feel it, you know, to feel the music and to get inspired and to let her creative juices flow. You know, I like to give her that time to actually create the artwork. But there have been some times where I've been a little last minute with it, unfortunately.
She's like, I'm guilty.
Because sometimes things change. Like I'll say, okay, this is the next one, and then we'll have conversations, and I'm just like, fuck, we gotta change the single. So it's like, all right, sorry, but we need this one done like within the next week. So
I've done some artwork for you too.
oh really?
Yeah. I
Where's
think
it
I forgot what. I don't even remember if it was like a last minute thing or what. I know we had gone back and forth with it, but I forgot if it was for a single, if it was for a drop. It didn't make it though. I know that.
Why you say that?
It didn't make it. I think you ended
that
up going
the
with
one?
something else.
Yeah, I think, didn't you say
It had like a watercolor effect to it or something like that.
But you had to submit, right?
I don't know. I forgot. It was a while ago though. I think that's when I got your number at the time, the Anna Mvze era. You know.
Right. Yeah.
Ronan's bringing it up because he's hurt.
I'm not hurt. No, honestly, I'm used to it, and that's what I was gonna talk about because I work with another artist, but I talked to her and then her manager. You know, you know her. You know of her. It's Noemi. She's a Puerto Rican
For real?
artist. Yeah.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah, she's hard. She's hard.
Amazing. She's
So
amazing.
yeah, shout out Noemi. Shout out Stephanie.
Yes.
So like with Stephanie, like she kind of has like taught me a lot about the music industry.
That's
you know, and her manager, and then so she'll tell me, she's like, you know, a lot of the times, because I've complained to her about like artwork and stuff like that towards artists, And I'm like, like I don't like when people want like last minute shit, and they're always like pushing like, hey, I need it like tomorrow, like, and I'm just like, dude, like I have a life, like I'm fucking, I have a kid, I have whatever, and she's like, no, I get it, but at the same time, it's not them, it's just the music industry is like that, it's just like if you're gonna work in the music industry, you have to know that a lot of shit is last minute, not only for designers but for artists, for anybody. How many times have I seen like Drake submit a song like right before the album drops or whatever, you know what I mean? Like a lot of shit is last minute, so
very, very last minute. Yeah,
it's a very grimy industry.
Yeah.
She don't like when I say grimy.
I hate that word. It sounds so ugly. Like, it's grimy. It sounds like dirty. Like, it's
not dirty. I don't mean dirty.
That's the 25?
Yeah, that's the 25.
I guess we can go on break.
Yes,
before
sir.
we get into another conversation, right?
Yeah.
We'll be back.
Yes, sir.
And we are back, guys. We had a little long break over here, right?
Yes, sir. Talking about
Did you
random
have
stuff.
like another question that you wanted to knock out?
I did. I wanted to talk about, because we were just talking about like the slang shit, right? So how different is the slang?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's different, but I love the slang here. So one that I've been hearing heavy is for shit show.
Damn, I don't even say that though.
I don't say that.
For shit show.
That.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about like that's a
No,
thing.
That one, yeah, I know.
I say that a lot of people.
It's so funny because that one people say, like if they say that it's because they're lying, right?
What do you mean?
Like, oh no. Yeah, because I saw it in a movie. I think it was Kevin Hart.
I don't know.
When the guy was like, it was the Kevin Hart movie where he's like, think like a man. You haven't seen it?
It's because that's like a rom-com type shit. I don't watch that shit.
I watched that.
She's like, you want to watch it with me?
Heart to that. My son is my date to all my movies.
I know that's right.
But yeah,
I didn't even pay attention to that shit.
yeah. Well, maybe not. Maybe obviously it was obviously in the movie, but maybe not like in real life. But yeah, for sure that's something
Like, no, I'm talking about.
we say, yeah.
But it's also just the accent. Like the accent is.
Do
so
we really
different.
have like an accent?
Yes.
I don't
Like
have
us?
We don't have an accent.
I don't feel like we do.
Slightly.
I don't know. Like more of like Latino accent or like the Houston
I feel
accent?
like no, from you guys I've heard more Latino accent for sure.
Because I don't talk the way a lot of other people talk.
Yeah,
like, you know how they be saying,
like,
no, I'm talking about, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you know, like that.
like it's more like, I don't know, country.
I don't know.
It's really
It's more
cool,
country
though.
shit.
It's really
Yeah.
cool, like hearing it.
It's so funny because my cousins, I have cousins in Chicago.
What it do?
I say, man, you're tripping. Mm-hmm. You know, do y'all say that?
Yeah, we say tripping.
Okay, because they say you're tweaking.
Tweaking, yeah, we say tripping, tweaking, bugging, yeah.
Okay, I guess because me down here it's more like, damn, you're tripping, right?
Hey, you tripping,
I
bro?
don't think tweaking. Whenever they're like tripping, it was my one of my girlfriends. She's like tripping, and I'm like, yeah, you're tripping, because I was up there, and she was like, no, it's tweaking, and I'm just like,
yeah, I've heard tweaking. Tweaking's heavy, yeah.
What is something that you say down here that people look at you weird for, or you don't have nothing?
Well, you know, I mean, one, I guess my accent stands out a lot here, but also I'm just a very unique individual. So I have like these phrases that I say that everybody's like catching on to and using. There's like a couple. One of them is hello. The other one is relax. Everybody's using that. And then cut it out. And then that's crazy. Like
I say that's crazy, but not the way you're saying it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, damn, that's crazy.
Instead of that's crazy, I feel like I say that's wild. Like, man,
yeah, because we'll be talking,
wild, bro.
and then I'm just like, damn, that's crazy. And he takes it more like I'm not paying attention to what the hell he's
Isn't
saying.
that a thing though? Like you're just like, damn, that's crazy, bro. Like,
yeah.
I'm just like, damn, that's crazy.
like, all right, you're not
babe.
paying
Like,
attention. All right.
That's so wild. And he's like, what did I just say? And I tell him what he.
She gives me like the bullet points, and I'm like,
I'm
nah,
just like,
bro.
you just said this, and that, and he'll be like, he'll be talking, and he'll be like, damn, I just lost the, what is it? Like the train of thought?
Train of thought.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, you were saying this. You were saying this. I'm paying attention.
I'm like, all right, you cool, pass the test. Cause I'll be tricking you though.
Yeah, he does. He
Yeah,
does.
that's toxic. It's hella toxic to me.
Yeah, he'll be
Yeah.
like, we'll be having a full ass conversation. But you know why he does it? Because my son is literally like, the whole time we're having a conversation, my son is low-key toxic.
He is.
Because he doesn't like us talking.
Toxico.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's like literally like in the middle, or like he's like, mommy, mommy, mommy. And so like I look at him knowing that
Literally,
we're talking.
like we'll be like watching him. Like he'll be doing something. We're just watching. We're like, watch. He's gonna start interrupting. Watch. And then we'll be like, hey babe, you know, da da da. He's like, he turns around. He's like, mommy, da da. And then I'm just like, oh my god, you weren't even talking to us, bro. Like, suddenly decides to start.
But I tell him, I was like, if I have to pay attention to you or him, obviously I have to turn and look at him, you know. But do you? Are you in a relationship? You don't have to answer.
Oh, no, I'm single as it gets. I'm very much single. I was in a very bad relationship a few months ago. It was an abusive relationship. And
Can you lower the mic a little bit? That way, just a little bit.
Yeah. So.
Oh shit! Sorry.
And then el arm.
Hello.
There you go.
Hello.
There you go.
I was in a relationship with somebody last year for a few months, and it was very abusive, and it got abusive very quickly too. And that was also a reason why I had moved back to DC. So
okay, so this was like a public thing, right? Like you talked about it a lot on your Instagram and stuff.
Yeah.
So what's like the message behind everything? Like, is there something you want to like?
Yeah, so I've released a song called Don't Forget to Mention, and it's basically a song talking about my experience in being in something like that. And it was very, very hard for me to do. It was probably one of the most transparent, vulnerable songs that I've ever written and released out to the public. And we shot a video to it and everything. Shout out Super P. And in the video, it was we redid like one of the nights that I experienced out there and stuff. But when I came back, I was very to myself. I isolated myself from everybody. I didn't even know if I was going to continue doing music, but little by little I started sharing my story on IG and TikTok, and the amount of people that could relate, it really shocked me to see how many of us go through domestic violence, and it's such a common thing. And it really broke my heart because wow, there's so many of us suffering in silence. Like nobody's really like talking on these kind of situations and stuff. And I could say that for myself, when I was going through it, nobody knew. My family didn't know, my friends didn't know, my business partners didn't know either, and I felt like I couldn't tell anybody, and I was just always in survival mode. And so with dropping Don't Forget to Mention and dropping that video, for me, it was just very much so to help others, to see that situations like this aren't okay. Because when you're in these kind of relationships, you're almost taught that this is normal, that this is love, that you stay with a person that's abusive because you love them and you believe in their potential. But in reality, that's not okay. You're hurting yourself, So it was definitely to inform others, but to also reassure them that they're not alone and they're not crazy, because I definitely felt that way too. And, when I was going through it, I got recommended to watch this show on Netflix called Made.
I saw that.
And so I didn't know what it was about, but I was like, all right, I'm going to watch it. And it was literally about a young girl. She had a daughter with this guy, and her man became abusive. And it shows the whole process of her leaving that and going through the courts and all these things. And watching that made me feel less alone. And to be honest, like that's what helped give me the strength to leave, because I think it was like a week after watching that, that's when I left. And so to see how that affected me, I was like, I hope that my song and my video can help somebody out there, that may not be talking to anybody about their situation, but when they see it and they hear it, they know this is not okay. If she could leave, I could leave too.
Yeah. So it's good that you used your like platform.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like that.
Yeah.
Something, I mean, obviously it was horrible that you experienced that, but it's good that you use that for like a good. Yeah, in a way, you know what I mean?
No, definitely. And it was hard because it can be embarrassing, like I have a lot of fans. I have a lot of supporters, and a lot of people know me and who I am. And they've always known me to be this boss, Latina. Nothing can faze me. But it's like in reality, sometimes it be the strongest ones, the ones that look, you know, the strongest, or like they're doing fine when they're the ones that are actually going through something. And, you know, I think it's very important for me to showcase that, to use my platform to let y'all know I'm human too. You know, like the same way I am helping others and healing them through my music, they're helping me as well, you know? So
is that why people don't speak out? Like because of embarrassment or what?
I think that definitely plays a huge role, but also in going through something like that, it's almost like you want to forget about it. Like you want to kind of just pretend like it never happened, you know, but...
Or maybe it's, I mean, you know, I think I've been blessed enough not to be in a situation like that. But do you think it's maybe because they're trying to protect the other person because they have love for them?
Oh, definitely. That could definitely play a part too, you know. Because I was like that for the longest. I was, even when I was going through it, like, I could have said something, but I didn't, to protect. Like, I would lie for this person. People would suspect, and I would lie. I would be like, oh, no, da-da-da-da. It was me. Like, I'm the crazy one. Like, I would pretend, you know, and... even until this day, like, I'm not out here trying to bash nobody or like anything like that, because the same way that I'm a victim of domestic violence, maybe that person was a victim of childhood trauma or some kind of mental illness. So it's not really my place to be out here, you know, judging you or whatever. I just know that that's not okay and that's not where I need to be. And overall, I think the most important thing is, like, this is my story. This is our story. And we need to stop being involved in situations like this and start these kind of conversations so that these things happen less and less.
Yeah. Damn, yeah. I mean, it's true. I mean, and just for the people that are watching, I mean, any kind of abuse is an abuse. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Either
that goes from verbal.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, obviously, you don't talk to this person, right?
No.
So, I feel like, you know how, like, I guess, like, you try to protect the person. You don't want to make them look bad or talk for them or whatever the fuck. But I feel like, because we were just talking about, I forgot what we were talking about, how when you tell a story about a person at a certain point of your life, and they seem bad at that time, but like, let's say now they're good or whatever, you're scared to tell that story of that time of your life because you don't want to make them look bad to people. But I told her
especially if you're on okay terms with them.
Okay, let's say you were on okay terms, let's just say, and some, you know, you get a chance to like publicize what happened or whatever, and you're just like, which you have, but like, let's say it's like an autobiography or something, and you want to talk about it, and then, but now they're like, they've changed and they're good people, and you're just like, damn, I don't want to make them look bad, you know, people are gonna read this, millions of people are gonna read this, like, but it's like, you can't change that. Like, at that time they were bad, at that time they harmed you, or they were bad in at that point of your life. Absolutely. So it's like, I told her, like, people should be able to tell their story and not worry about how people are gonna view them, because that happened, you know what I mean? You can't like act like that should never happen or whatever.
Like, you did like live through it, because I mean, because you'll tell me, I'm very open about like my whole childhood and like shit that I've dealt with, you know, and I didn't have like the best relationship with my mom, but now I do.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I mean, it's like fucking great now. But I mean, don't get me wrong, when I was young, it was so bad, like, you know, but I think I'm very open about that. And I tell him, I'm like, I don't think people are going to come at my mom like on Facebook and be like, damn, you know, obviously we're not like, we don't have the following where that can happen. But it's like, at that time, my mom, you know, we weren't okay. What she was doing wasn't okay, but we're okay now, you know. But I mean, I'm still gonna like shed a light to the abuse or emotional stuff that did happen, you know.
And honestly, I think we need to start normalizing accountability. That's the only way that we can grow as people, but to also show the youth, like, maybe you might do some fucked up shit, but like, if you're able to own up to it and be aware and do something about it, like get help, like that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? So again, like, I don't for me with what I'm doing, it's never to bash anybody. You know, all I could do is pray for that person, pray that it doesn't happen again, and hope for the best, you know, in moving forward with their life. But it's like, taking accountability is a big thing because it shows growth, and that's what we want at the end of the day. And we want to be able to inspire our youth because they got to learn too, you know, and it's better for them to learn through our experiences versus having to go through that as well. So
yeah, especially, I mean, you don't have kids, right? Yeah, so I feel like now that we have our son, it does play a big part on us, like talking to him and like showing him,
right.
But of course we can only do so much,
Exactly.
you know. Like, it's just, you never want your kid to be the bully, or you know.
Honestly, I feel like having a kid like unlocked a whole new like world of fear. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I believe
Like, you're just worried about yourself growing up, but once you have your kid, you start seeing all these things about like bullying and like not him, like kids not being able to make friends and stuff, and you're just like, fuck, like you just start worrying about
because
shit.
you know,
like,
our son, like the teacher will send videos, and our son is like always by him, like he has his little friends, but he's very like, if I don't know you, I'm not gonna talk to you,
Right.
You know, he's like that, which to me, I'm okay with him doing that, you know. And but sometimes like they'll send videos and I'm just like, oh, pobrecito, like he's by himself, but he'll come home and talk to me about his friends, you know. But I know he's the oldest boy in my family, and on his side too, like the oldest boy, right? So then on my side of the family, since he's the oldest boy and he has more boy cousins, I seen how my son can be mean to his little cousin. You know what I mean? And I tell him, I'm just like, I don't want him to be that kid, but he doesn't know that he's being that kid.
Yeah.
Because my nephew literally loves my son, and he's like, Milo, like he gets so happy. But my son is too focused on playing with his sister, you know, because she's older than him, that he don't pay attention sometimes to the little one, you know. And the little one just like walks away, like, you know what I mean? But I mean, we just have to do a good job at like I said, like you're using your platform to like share awareness, and that's like really, really good. And just the knowledge needs to be put out there.
Absolutely.
Like the experiences, you know.
Yeah. So to end this on a good note, like, I don't know, let them know like where they can find you and where to stream your music and stuff. Like,
yeah. So I mean, you could follow me everywhere. Anna Mvze. It's Anna with 2 N's, Mvze. I have a lot of great things coming out. I have a couple of singles dropping midsummer. Also, you know, I'm from DC, so I have to go back. But, you know, I'm coming back to Texas. Going to be moving around a little bit. I might have something very special June 10th, and I'm very excited to share, but I can't speak on it just yet.
And this is dropping June 6th. So if you're watching this, hopefully everything works out like, you know, how you're saying. So follow her on Instagram so y'all can, you know, keep an eye out.
Yeah, everything's going to be in the description and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Where can they find you on Instagram? You already said it, right?
Yeah.
Anna Mvze with a V.
Yeah, Anna with 2 N's, Mvze.
But thank you for joining us, you know.
Yeah, it was cool having you for real. Like,
it was good to know you like on a personal level now,
definitely.
you know, like
Thank you.
Yeah, because I've been following you for a long time. So it's like for us to be here right now is like, it's pretty dope, you know what I mean? So,
well, thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I haven't checked this, you know, the little percentage with the people subscribed.
I don't know.
But don't forget to subscribe. Description, but like in the description is gonna have her Instagram, our Instagrams. Go ahead and follow, like, and
just do all that shit. Y'all know what to do, man. Everybody knows what to do. Shit. But that's it.
All right, thank y'all for
Peace
watching.
Out.
Bye.